Okay, so let's get started. So good afternoon, everybody. We are about to start our second session about the power of conversation with Chris Hall. Yes, let me introduce you. Chris Hall is graduated in nursing. He has experience in infection diseases and occupational health nursing. Director of Learning Development, Assistant Professor of English Language. He has a teaching English as a foreign language certificate and experience in language schools in Teresina. And he has experience in training, teacher training in CFAF. Okay, Chris, it's up to you now. Okay.
Okay. Hi guys. Hi everybody. I'm Chris. I'm from the UK, but I've lived in Piauí in Teresina for 3 years now. So I'm nearly Brazilian. So welcome to the Power of Conversation. We have some PowerPoint slides, but mainly it's about talking. It's about getting your experience. I'm experienced in adult education, not in sort of private or public schools. So please help me out with that experience and share your knowledge as well. That's really useful. So everybody please join in when we can. Everybody contribute if you feel comfortable. There's no silly question. There's no silly statement. I can talk for an hour, but I really don't want to. I would love to sit back and listen to you guys as well, because you're the ones with the experience, the wealth of knowledge and skills. So I think the best lessons are the ones where everybody comes away feeling either energized or empowered, or they've learned something, or they've been listened to. So hopefully I think we've got some good material to work together with. It's certainly not me talking for an hour. So the power of conversation for English classes online. Sorry, first of all, does anybody need any translation help? Because I'm a native English speaker and I'll try not to speak quickly, but I naturally do. So please tell me to stop, I think there's a wave your hand button that you can do, or you can write in the chat. Does anybody want any translation at all? That's fine also if you do. So if not, and you don't get something, please just ask me. Okay, right, I've got two devices. I'm on the computer and my phone, so I am looking down sometimes, but it's because I've got two devices, so sorry. Right, so let's get started. So I've just got a few quotes, first of all, to get us thinking. The best ideas start as conversations. So these are the Airbnb guys. They were three friends who started a conversation about starting a business where people can open up their homes and make money. It's now $1 billion company. So that really was the best idea, came from a conversation, Airbnb. But there are lots and lots of other businesses I can't think offhand that actually came just from talking with friends, yeah? And it normally comes from something that you need, something that you that isn't out there, and something that you think of, people think of, because there's a lack of it somewhere else. That's normally where the businesses come from. So there you go. People say we've all got we're all millionaires. We've all got a £1 million business in our heads, yeah. But we just need to talk about it. Okay. So next one. The best way to get to know someone is to have a conversation with them. So that's either students, colleagues, friends, family, dates, whatever. The only way you can get to know someone is by talking with them. Some easier than others, yeah? And conversation is food for the soul. So as I said earlier, hopefully from today, and hopefully from your lessons in the past and in the future, you walk away feeling good. You have that glow, you have that warm feeling, and you feel like either you were listened to, people contributed well, people's confidence improved, your confidence improved, whatever. But it's really good to have those conversations where we all feel good. Sometimes it's with beer, sometimes it's with wine, you know, but we don't always need those to help. We can still have them within our classes. Yeah. Right. This is again something that I'd like you to contribute to if you feel brave enough. It's something that I would like to draw on your skills, your knowledge. So you can write in the comments, but I really would like it if some of you did speak out and generate a conversation. So I don't know whether you use this before, you've used this before, but I actually like it as part of a general lesson. And it can be with any class, any topic, any age, any ability, really. You just have to kind of focus it on, focus the questions on the ability, their understanding, whatever. But I like to use this presentially. It's good also because it gets people moving with adults, with kids. So it can be fun with kids. With adults, it just gets everybody, waking up and whatever. And you can either have two ends of the room, true or false, or you can just do it online and obviously just get people to tell you their answers. You can also do agree, strongly agree, not sure, disagree, strongly disagree. And so you could have 4 or 5 stations in the class. Yeah. So first of all, conversational classes are only for intermediate to advanced students. So if you'd like to write in the chat or somebody talk, what do you think to that? True or false? Oh, hi, Khaleesi. Hi, Chris. She's put conversational classes. Number 1, conversational classes are only for intermediate to advanced students. So that's saying you can only use conversations with intermediate or advanced students. What do you think? You agree or disagree? True or false? Sorry, someone came to the door asking something. I was just waving. Okay. Anybody, come on, get your brains working. Type it. Does anybody know? Do you know how to write in the chat? Are you familiar with this? Does anybody want help with finding the chat? So if you go to, let me just come out of the, where are we now? Hang on, just a minute. I need help. Right. If you go, there's 3 near the button, the phone of, it's red, yeah, the red phone. If you go to, oh, hang on, I might be wrong. Someone help me, please. Oh, no, sorry, it's not that. Ignore me. If you find there's people in the right-hand corner, and then there's like a page, yeah? If you go to the page, that's the chat function. Okay. So what have we got? Khaleesi. False, I think we can use since first classes, yeah, but with simple dialogue conversations. Great. Janice, false. Noelia, Ademir. Anybody think it's true? Anybody think you can't do it with basic English? Anybody want to talk about that? Sorry, let me go back to the... Okay, right, we'll move on to the next one. I can't fit conversations into my classes. I don't know how to fit conversations into my classes. So really that's not necessarily true or false. Let me, sorry, present. But you can either put true as in you can't, you don't know how to fit, or false as in you know how to. You fit conversations into your classes. That's a bit of a funny question, sorry. But I can't fit conversations into my class, you agree? I don't know how to fit conversations into my classes, or you disagree, you can fit them into your class, you know how to fit them into your class. What are your answers? We can fit conversations into our classes, yeah? So what that means is you're confident in using conversations into your classes, yeah? Sorry, I might change that one for another time. You're confident in using conversational English in your classes. You can fit them into your curriculum, into your plans, yeah? Anybody want to speak? Anybody feeling brave? We were talking about vulnerability last class. So let's put ourselves in our students' shoes and let's make ourselves vulnerable and speak in front of people. I've got to do it as well. So help me out and speak as well. And that often helps, with our students, because if you show vulnerability, then they're willing to contribute to you. Janice, I'll read yours. Sometimes I really want to use it, but I don't know how for some students yet. Rosiani, we usually speak little in our classes in public schools. Okay, can we use the mic? Of course we can. Of course you can, Kilasi. Yeah, please do. Please speak to us, Kilasi.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
So good afternoon. I think we can fit conversations into our classes, but very simple ones, because if we try to use very difficult ones, the students are going to be afraid and feel like run away. This is like my experience, because I teach at public schools and I try to use very, very simple dialogues with them because,
Okay, sorry, carry on, carry on.
Okay, sometimes I use this, very small ones, and even so sometimes, teacher, we are desperate, and I say, calm down, we're getting to it. I mean, like something like drop by drop, trying to, first I practice the pronunciation with them, the meaning, and then I start something like a role plays in class, for them to get comfortable, But
you have to do some. Sorry, go on.
So just to finish, is for example, nowadays I cannot use so many role plays because of the pandemic times, and there is the thing about, for example, social distancing, so they're not supposed to get together so much. That's why. I mean, those last classes I'm not using, but I try to use conversations, but everybody's seated,
Sure,
like
sure.
that.
I actually didn't. I knew that public schools had returned, but are you saying that public schools? Sorry, what did I say a minute ago? I knew that some private schools had returned, but I didn't know public schools had returned, because at CFAF we've not returned. So. Are you saying your public schools have returned as well, or some public schools have returned?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought everybody publicly was off school still.
Sorry, I here in Sergipe, I live here in Sergipe.
Sorry, you're in a different state, aren't you?
Yes, I'm in a different state. It's a very small state, and we return in August, at the end of August.
Oh, so what? A couple of months. Yeah. And Eugenio, what about POE, Teresina, and Timon?
POE?
Hold on.
Eugenio.
Okay.
In Teresina, we haven't returned yet.
No.
Especially in CCL, because we don't have the janitors and the cleaning people.
Okay, sure.
Yes. But in Timon, let me locate people where Timon is. Timon is a city in Maranhão. It's next to Teresina. I call it it's just a bridge between the two cities. So I used to call, I call Timon the largest neighborhood of Teresina. Yes. It's the largest.
Little Teresina.
Yes, westbound. Westbound. And Timon, we returned last August. And
okay, so because you're Maranhão.
Yes, Maranhão. Okay.
Great. Okay, so that puts it into context. Thanks, Khaleesi. Janice's put, sometimes I really want to use it, but I don't know how for some students. Okay, I think I already said that, didn't I? And we usually speak little in our classes in public schools. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say as well. So, Janice, I think we might cover how you might cover with some various groups and sizes and abilities. But Rosiani, so we usually speak little in our classes in public school. So is that because you have a tight schedule, because you have to keep to a plan, or is it because that's not the preferred way of teaching? Can you sort of add to that a little bit, because I think it's an interesting topic. Yeah? So Rosiani, if you're still here, and where are you talking about? In Teresina? What about public schools? You guys that teach there, are conversations used less there? Do you think? Do you have tight schedules? Do you have tight curriculums? It's difficult to kind of, veer off them with conversations? Or do you like to use them as part of your curriculum? Let's get talking rather than me talking. I don't work with schools, so you have to help me. So Rosiani, you're in Para, right? Okay, so that's different. Okay, well, why don't you talk about that? Because would you like to talk to us? Because that'd be interesting. Expand on why you don't use it so much in your schools. But obviously, I'm not going to force you. Would you like to use the mic? Okay, I don't want to force you. Right, so let's move on. Right, this one isn't used to. It's not meant to offend. It's not my opinion, but it's it's a kind of misconception, if you like. It could be a misconception. Conversational classes are used by lazy teachers. True or false? Do you agree? Do you disagree with that? Conversational classes are used by lazy teachers. So they wake up on a Monday morning, and they haven't got anything to do in the class, so they just use conversation, that kind of thing. Do you agree with that, or do you disagree? Someone can translate. Has a problem here, I think. Rosiani. Esther Ruim, must be a problem there. Okay. I think you mean about your mic and stuff, yeah? Noelia, false. You don't agree? Totally false, Khaleesi says. Strongly. Anybody agree? Anybody think it's an easy way out? We are not lazy, Khaleesi, if we use conversation in class, yeah? So no, I don't. I think if you're doing it right, you're not lazy. It's not an easy option, yeah? Maybe if your class are advanced and you just think, oh, let's just talk today, maybe that could be seen as a bit. But if you're setting the groundwork with grammar and vocabulary, then it takes a lot, doesn't it? Because like you were saying in the last point, the students have to feel confident talking, don't they? Because if they don't, their confidence is going to diminish. Anybody else say anything? No? Okay. This one kind of we may have already done. I have to keep to a strict curriculum, and conversations are not useful. So, do you have to keep to the plan that you've devised as a department, as a group, as a teacher? Is there a room for conversations? So, I have to keep to a strict curriculum, and they're not useful. True or false? Agree or disagree? Rosiani, false. Khaleesi, false. Come on, I want to see some more names, please. I think there's 21 of you, and I only see 4 names. So, come on, everybody vote. Try and write a comment. Maria, thank you.
I think
Hi, go on.
I think it's true we have a strict curriculum, but it's not true that conversations are not useful.
Okay, but do you feel like you've got space in the curriculum to use conversations? Do you know what I mean? Does your curriculum allow you to use conversations?
Yeah, sometimes we have to choose something and instead of something else. But I think it's possible to use both of them.
Okay. Khaleesi sometimes. Sorry, who was talking? I didn't realize. Who just spoke? What was your name?
Me, Janice.
Janice. Okay, thank you, Janice. Khaleesi, sometimes we do not have space for conversations yet. I don't feel confident. Now, that's something you may or may not want to admit. And it's okay if you don't. But hopefully from this workshop, you might feel a little bit more confident at the end. But does anybody not feel confident to be a facilitator of conversations? Maybe in the basic to intermediate classes, could be any class. Maybe in a large school class. Does anybody not feel that confident facilitating conversations? Or they might want to feel more confident. They might want more help with it. Does anybody want to share anything? I can't really say too much because it's not fair because the lady's not here. But the last class, somebody was also learning English as well as teaching, and that she said that could be difficult. But I said I think it's a really positive thing because you're showing vulnerability, like I said earlier to the class. You're not perfect. I'm not. I'm a native speaker. I'm not an expert. I haven't got a PhD in English. I'm a native speaker, but I'm not an expert. I forget. I have to Google things. I have to do spell check. So I think it's okay to say that you don't know. Yeah. Anybody else want to say anything? No. Hi. Someone's going to speak.
It's me, Janice.
It's all right. Carry on. It's better than me speaking.
I think people sometimes do not use conversations because they can not feel prepared because it's something you cannot control. It's conversation, so people can talk anything about anything. So sometimes people can be afraid of some issues that they don't have knowledge about.
Yeah. So you might want to avoid some controversial things or some personal topics, but that might be part of the class. You might want to go into those kind of subjects. But yeah, I suppose there's an unknown, isn't there, for the teacher? You can't control it too much. If you're going to have open conversation, so that could be quite make someone quite nervous. Yeah. But also fun. Okay, thanks for that, Janice. And you can only use conversations in small classes. Do you agree or disagree? Only use conversations well in small classes. So, Rosiani, how can we encourage more conversation for very shy students? We'll come back to that. Noelia, false, yeah. So you can use them. Does anybody want to, or Marcus, please? You've raised a hand, please speak. Marcus? Or do you need, I don't know. Oh yeah, Marcus, can you use your microphone? Are you there? We can't hear you. Let me see. Are you speaking, Marcus? Let me come out of chat. Eugenio, could you help? I don't know whether Marcus, are you having trouble? I can't hear anything.
Okay, so let me try to chat with him here. Okay.
Oh, accidentally. I don't think he is speaking. Wants to speak.
Okay.
Oh, but Khaleesi does, I think. No, don't be sorry. Don't ever go to an auction, Marcus, because you might end up buying something really expensive if you put your hand up when you were scratching your head. Okay.
That's incredible. I love it.
Don't ever go to an auction with Marcus.
Yes.
Right,
yes.
Khaleesi. No, are you speaking or not? We're talking about we can only use conversations in small classes.
Can I speak?
No, of course you can. I didn't know whether you wanted to. Continue. I'll shut up.
No, I was about to say, for example, we in public school, sometimes we are very strict to the grammar, you know, and we have that. I think it's about the tradition in Brazil, because in public schools it's like grammar translation method, you know, and if you're not teaching like grammar, it's like we're not teaching, you know. So
yeah, it's probably some guilt, isn't it? Like, oh, I'm not doing it properly.
yeah, sometimes I feel guilty because, oh my God, I'm not teaching grammar, because sometimes I teach grammar afterwards, you know, first the dialogues and then I teach grammar afterwards. But sometimes I feel like, oh my God, is it too easy? Because there is this tradition that it's supposed to be difficult, you know, like you are supposed to be a tough professor, or sorry, teacher.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose that's worldwide, isn't it? I don't know, but I suppose there's always a way that you should be doing it, but I think not necessarily always experience, but it comes with experience that, you know, it's like nursing. My previous experience was nursing. It's like learning to drive. Once you've passed, you do it how you want to do it, really, don't you? And with experience, you become more of a autonomous teacher. And I think, there's a lot of guilt. And I suppose if you've got colleagues that are kind of militant in some respects like that. But I think what goes on behind closed doors, as long as you're meeting the needs that the assessments and everything and the needs of the pupils, I don't think there's a problem, you know. It's always good to shake things up. I've always been a bit of a rebel, I suppose. I like to do things differently, but I get pleasure from that. Some people don't get pleasure from that. Some people get pleasure from sticking by the rules. So it depends how you are as a teacher. But I think with your experience, the rules are there if you need them, I suppose, but you don't necessarily have to work with them. Yeah. Does that make any sense? I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose so. We're not supposed to be. I mean, I don't think we should be that tough professor or teacher, you know. I think we are facilitators. As facilitators, we should facilitate, not complicate, you know.
Yeah. And who are you being hard on? I mean, it's not, you know, years gone by when you could hit a child with a ruler or something, maybe, but children are not going to respond to that, are they? In the army, maybe. Classroom, no. So I think if you want to be, and I don't mean in a physical sense, but if you want to be tough on them, they're just going to switch off. So I'm definitely not telling anyone how to teach, but I always go with the have a laugh and try and show some part of yourself, you know, and just try and get everybody to feel good, you know. That isn't that the whole point of conversation, the whole point of teaching. You know, you don't become a teacher because you hate children or you hate people. Hopefully not. Some people maybe, but you become a teacher because you want to add to somebody's life. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to inspire. Yes. So I think what you're doing is it sounds great, and we shouldn't be hard on ourselves. But I think the nature of teachers, we're mostly nice people, and therefore we're self-critical.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
And where our I don't know whether you know this phrase, but we're our own worst enemy. Yeah? We're our own harshest critiques.
Could you type that?
Yeah, well, I can hardly say it. It was a tongue twister. Let me say it. Hang on. I got some words wrong, I think. Right, hang on. Edna, do you want to say something? You were asking about a list of a register, yeah? I think Eugenio can answer that one for me, and I'll write about the about what I've just said.
Yes, there's an attendance list. I'll just check with the organization, okay, Edna? So I can give you an answer, okay? But there's a attendance list. Yes.
Okay. Is that okay, Edna? No, Elliot. Okay, right. We are our own worst enemies. So that means, you know, we are the worst people against ourselves. Yeah? We're our toughest critique. I'll write that as well. We are our toughest or harshest, I think the actual, anyway, toughest critique. And my spelling may be wrong, I don't know. Right, there you go. So that's in chat for you. We are, oh no, sorry, that's, I've done it wrong. We are our, no, God, sorry, ignore that. We are, I meant to say, our own, that's what, there's a typo. Our own, no. We are our, no. We are our, sorry, see, I don't get everything. We are our toughest critique, that's right. Okay. Anyway, look it up, it'll come up if you Google it. We are our toughest critique. Right, so let's get back to the presentation, then we can have another chat. Right, so where are we? Hang on, bear with me. Anybody want to say anything? Where are we? Hang on. Oh, there. Okay, right, let's move on because it's about, we get some talking in a minute. Right, just quickly then, we've got some, I'll spend 5 minutes quickly. So, principles of communication, principles of teaching English conversation. Focus on communication and fluency, not correctness. So I said in the last group, it's difficult for us to sit back and allow things to happen, especially when we hear mistakes. But that's one of the arts of having a good conversation, yeah? Allowing people to talk. As long as their opinions are being understood, then I think it's fine. And it's a good time for you as a teacher to sit back and make notes about what they might need help on. Yeah. So afterwards, you could go back and say, right, you spoke about the past tense. Actually, this is how you could say it. But I think, I don't know whether you agree, but I think someone stopping and starting a conversation numerous times is quite difficult. Yeah. And I think, in that respect, it can also affect someone's confidence, possibly. Yeah? You know, if somebody keeps saying, hang on, sorry, no, it can be a little bit irritating. So I would say, try, as hard as it might be, try to just allow it to flow. Okay, even if you're cringing and thinking, oh my God, that's awful, just let it be. Again, like I've said, sit back and relax, try not to jump in. Let somebody sink or swim. I don't know whether you use that phrase, whether you've heard it before. Sink or swim. So when a child or somebody's learning how to swim, sometimes you have to let them flounder a bit. You have to let them struggle, yeah? And they'll either drown and then you help, or they'll learn how to swim. Does anybody want to say anything about those comments? Anybody disagree or okay. Right, so these are things I'm sure you know anyway, but it's just to kind of consolidate what we're talking about. Student-focused conversations. Try to find a topic that will engage the intended group. If you're unsure, ask the group. Everyone has interests. Try not to overreach and use controversial topics unless it's appropriate. I said it's not a very interesting anecdote, but I was in a Portuguese, when I first arrived, I was in a Portuguese class, and the person wanted to do a conversation about the history of the Brazilian judicial system. And oh my days, that was so boring, and I couldn't wait to leave. But she obviously thought, as adults, we were interested in the history of the judicial system. Sorry, I don't want to offend anybody if you are too, but I'm not. So, you know, it would have been good to ask what we found interesting, to actually be more of a fun lesson. Maybe that's a bit selfish, but I probably would have spoken more if it had been something more general. Yeah. Okay. Share if you've got any anecdotes. Share, please. Someone? No? Okay. Teach vocabulary first or after, it doesn't matter, but first might be helpful. May be obvious, but they do need to know structures of conversation and vocabulary. So conversations are great to increase confidence, but without the skills, it can also hinder people's confidence as well. Yeah, so you do need some words. You get to a point where you have to learn words to be able to speak about various topics. Yeah. It's possible to use conversations in both in small and large groups. Yeah, we've done that. We've talked about that. But yeah, use it. You know, okay, you might not be able to use free-flowing conversation with groups of 30, but you can still have a conversation. You can say, Pablo, ask Dayani. Dayani, ask. Sorry, I've got to copy some names. Eugenia, I can't think of any names. Edna, ask Noel. Yeah, so you can structure it, but you can still have conversations. The hard thing is, I suppose, to keep everybody interested, to keep everybody's mics off. Everybody goes behind the camera and goes off and makes a cup of tea. You know, they're the challenges, yeah. But you can still have conversations in large groups. Do any of you use rooms? I know that can be a technical nightmare. I have to confess, I haven't used them on my own. Does anybody confidently use rooms? I was in a conference once, an English conference last year, the same of this, but last year, and the poor facilitator couldn't get everybody back, so there was a nightmare. There was a technical nightmare. She lost about 30 people. Anybody use rooms? Anybody put their classes into rooms? Successfully. Eugenio, do you use rooms? Khaleesi, do you use rooms?
You mean breakout rooms?
Yeah, breakout rooms, sorry, yeah.
Yes, last semester I used with my CCL students.
Do they work well? Do you like them, or
yes.
Are you a bit nervous?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I had a free account of Google Meet. So I learned how to create breakout rooms. Yes. Okay. And I downloaded an app that you can silence all the rooms and listen one by one what are they doing, and then you can get back them inside your main room. It was very interesting. It worked a lot. They loved it.
It sounds, and I think it's something for them as well, isn't it? It's like, oh, cool.
Yes.
You know, we're all going into rooms, and it's. Does anybody not know what breakout rooms are that might want to know? You can either put it in the chat or ask. Does anybody want Eugenio to explain a little bit more? It could be a really useful tool if you don't know. I think it's on Google Meet, is that right? It's on Zoom, isn't it? I don't know what app. Yeah.
Okay. If you have an account of Zoom, a paid account of Zoom, Zoom has already a breakout room button. But if you, I don't know if Google Meet has breakout rooms, but no, I learned on YouTube how to create breakout rooms using Google Meet. You have to download an app that silences the other rooms, Yes, you can listen one by one calmly, and then you can bring them back to the main room. It's quite easy. It's not that difficult.
Yeah, it sounds really kind of workable for classes.
Yeah.
And like we said, I think they really would. They love it, don't they? I think it's a really cool thing, you know,
Yep.
to go off and. Okay. What Khaleesi uses Duolingo. Okay, I tried a room in Duolingo. Okay, and WhatsApp. Do you? Is that there's a video? Again, look how useless I am. When I do my classes, somebody helps me. WhatsApp. So there's a video conferencing for WhatsApp, is there? And you use Rooms as well, or just you're saying you use WhatsApp? Oh, you use YouTube links. That's really interesting as well. So I'm the worst person to talk about that as well. Does anybody want Khaleesi to explain about that? Does anybody know about YouTube, want to know about YouTube links? Like today, some of the conference was being beamed into live into YouTube space. I created this small YouTube channel. Okay, share that with us. Okay, Khaleesi, you're the person to go to, I think.
By the way, I created the link. It's not like, how can I say, at the same time, because the problem is this. My students, most of them are from rural areas. So I was teaching rural areas online. And some of my students, they do not have like a good internet. And sometimes they need to go somewhere else to get the internet. And they did not have, for example, enough space in their cells because the cells are not so good. So I created this small channel on YouTube to put on my classes.
Great.
And you have the option there on YouTube. If you want the classes to be public, so you click there like public. There is some kind of icon with the word. Yeah, and the other one is like not listed. I don't know in English if it's not listed. In Portuguese, it's não listado and não listada. It's a video that is not listed, so only your students can see.
Right.
This is really good for the teachers who are shy, because
definitely, or useless like me, technically challenged.
Yeah, because I have, for example, a coworker of mine. He was like, "No, I don't want anybody to see my face," and I was like, "No, you create links on YouTube, and only your students will see that, because he was like creating lots of videos, and he was like, "My cell phone is not working anymore," and I said, "I have a solution for you." Because sometimes we can practice, for example, the dialogues we can put there in links, and only you and your students can see those dialogues, and then you can practice with them. And I use a lot of WhatsApp because my students use more WhatsApp, so that's why I use more.
Of course, WhatsApp. You have to get down with the kids and what they like. TikTok. I mean, again, I don't know much about it. TikTok, WhatsApp, isn't it? I don't know. There's another one that I think younger people use, but I can't remember younger kids. What's the other one?
I teach for adults. It's called in Brazil is EJA. It's like education for youngsters and adults.
Okay.
And they live in in areas. Sometimes they are very far away because they go to school with the buses.
Of course, so you can't do live, can you?
Yeah, sometimes they don't have internet, so it's not so easy. So I try to adapt myself, the online environment for them to be able to access this environment online, So sometimes to be at the same time with them at Google Meet's not so easy.
It's not practical, is it? And also in live, even in a city, the internet goes off. The signal's bad. You have to reboot your internet. That happens day in, day out in cities, doesn't it? So you have to kind of work with that. What I forgot to mention last group, and we can do it with this group, that's fine, but we would need to do it before you all leave, is if you wanted a kind of support WhatsApp group. So, obviously you're all experts, but Khaleesi sounds like she's got a lot of things worked out, probably through having to because of the pandemic, but you might be a wizard in technology. But I think many of us have been forced to learn because of the pandemic, right?
Yes.
So if you want, maybe we could just put our it's not necessarily have to talk all the time, but we could use a WhatsApp group just if you want to ask questions, because you might not want to ask them now, you might not think about things now, but maybe later, or you could talk privately, you know, from the main group. You could then send somebody a private message if you wanted. But I don't know whether that's useful, whether you guys think that would be okay, because you know, it's really good to use each other's knowledge. The other thing is, why don't reinvent the wheel? You know, if somebody's doing it, don't go and invent it yourself. Use the skills and knowledge that other people have been doing. So anyway, that's something I don't mind facilitating, but I would obviously need all your numbers before you left. So we could do a kind of technology support group if you wanted on WhatsApp. Anyway, we can talk before you leave. Edna, thanks, Khaleesi.
Okay.
Do you have any special, or
thanks,
you might want to answer this, Khaleesi. Edna wants to know, do you have any special programs or apps to teach the kids, or a special program or app? So are you meaning a special app for kids for English, or what? I'm guessing that's what it is, isn't it? Do you have a special program or app to teach the kids? Not necessarily in conversations, you mean, just generally, yeah? Edna, do you want to expand a little? English. So just everything in English, yeah? No, don't be sorry. Okay, anybody want to answer that? Do you have a special program or an app that you could recommend to Edna for teaching English to kids? Edna, do you know about TikTok? Oh, conversation, sorry. Okay. Do you use TikTok, Edna? Is that something Edna could use for conversations? I don't know, TikTok, somebody help. Eugenio, Khaleesi. Anybody else want to talk? If not, if someone could just answer for us, that'd be great.
I really I had a TikTok account, but I didn't like the app, so
okay.
I don't use TikTok for anything. But my students, they love it. They used to ask me if they can make some videos with me. So we take photos, they dance, and I dance with them too. So it's quite funny. At the end of the class, I give them 5 or 10 minutes to do whatever they want, unless they destroy the class and destroy the school, and it's quite funny.
And I'm sure they could if they wanted.
Yes.
Okay, but what else would you recommend then? What do you think you could recommend, if anything, to Edna? I mentioned TikTok, but if you don't use it, then what could somebody recommend? Someone said, Khaleesi, was it Duolingo you use? I don't know. What do you think, Eugenia? Anything in particular? About
Duolingo
or anything?
Anything. I used to every class we at the beginning we make an agreement. So the next 30 minutes or 40 minutes we are going to study grammar or vocabulary or I don't know, conversation or something like this. The last 10 minutes we do whatever they want. Yes, like we discuss other topics, we make videos, and I'm trying to build confidence between me and them. Yes, it's been quite interesting, especially in the 6th grade, because they are very, very, very young, like 10 or 11 years old. At the 7th grade too. The 9th grade, they are teenagers, and it's a bit hard because they're very driven of what they want, and if they say no, I have to do something and I have to negotiate. Yes, but I recommended Duolingo, and I'm trying to introduce little by little an English speaking culture. I started with the alphabet and then the numbers. I bring some listening. I try to create an English corner in the class. You know what I mean? Yes. and it's yes, it's working so far. It's working, and some of them they know Duolingo, and I recommend them to go online for BBC Learn English, yes, VOA too, and it's I think they and talk with them about the importance to learn English, especially the teenagers, because they're going to high school and they are going to the work field, and I give them some examples of my students that they had better jobs because they speak English, and they get fascinated about that.
Yeah, because the end result out of this is that you could improve your life as well. That's the thing, isn't it? You know, okay, when you're probably 12, 13, you're not, or below, you're not thinking about that. But actually, the whole point is that not necessarily saying that it's bad to stay where you're born, but English can take you out of your comfort zone, right? Is that okay, Edna? You said thanks, yeah. BBC Learn. Oh, that's back to the UK. That is brilliant. BBC Learning. Okay, you like that, Khaleesi? Does anybody use Kahoot? That was something that I was thinking about, but that's quizzes, isn't it? I mean, it still helps, but do you use Kahoot? Anybody know? All right, Carmo, yeah, you use Kahoot. My students love it. Yeah,
I use Quizlet.
Is that similar?
Yeah. Yes.
Quizlet. Do you want to explain what it is for people that don't know?
Quizlet. Yeah. I think Quizlet. I know Kahoot, but I have never used in my classes, and I like Quizlet because I think it's more simple than Kahoot. Yes, and it's cleaner, and it's easier to use than Kahoot. Yes, it's the same thing. You can create some cards, and you can create flashcards with concepts and vocabulary, whatever you want. And you can show them to the students. You can send and share the cards with the students, and it has a game mode. Yes, a game part, and you can transform all the content in game and play with them, and it's quite interesting. And also you can save the games and the content as PDF.
Okay, that's and there's another one, but I suppose that's more for presenter. But Hamundo loves it. My colleague loves it, and it's using the barcode. I can't remember what that's called now. What's that actual called? Where it's 3 letters, isn't it? Not the activity, but the actual barcode thing. You have to have a reader for the barcode. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? I'll have to find out. But what basically you download this barcode reader. Yeah, you know barcodes on the back of items in supermarkets and shops. Yeah, that they scan. Well, it's a scan. There's a specific name, but I can't remember. Anyway, and basically what you do is you enter questions into the into the app. Yeah. Kahoot. And then you print out the barcodes, and you can put them up around the room. So the kids download the app too, and they take their phone. Obviously, if they don't have phones, you can share or whatever. And you read the barcode, and then the questions come up, and you have to do either the activity that it's asking, or you have to answer the questions. So not very well explained because I can't remember what it is, but I can get back to you. But that's really good as well, a barcode activity for English. Something else I was going to say. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, we're nearly done. So I'll leave that, but I'll post you I'll post you it anyway. Basically, this was just to have fun with conversation. Yeah. Try not to make it too serious. The other things, we've got probably a couple of minutes. Then I'll just ask quickly if you have any questions. I like this one, and I drag it out whenever I can. It's not an app. It's not computerized. It's basically it's called Who Am I? And very quickly, somebody thinks of somebody, a famous person, a sport person, a movie star, whatever, singer. and the other people have to ask questions. Now, it can be yes or no answers, or you can have more open-ended answers. So say I'm Michael Jackson, okay? But the other people don't know. So someone asks, are you a man? I say yes. Now, you could either have just alive people if you've got a group that you think past tense would be difficult, or you can have dead or alive. Yeah? So people say, are you alive? I would say no. So they're dead, right? Yeah. Are they Brazilian? No. Do they sing rap? No. Okay, whatever. Anyway, you get the idea, yeah? So it could be anybody from history, from current day, can be politics, anything. So I think I love it because it covers so much, and people have to really think about what they're asking, yeah? Because obviously the point is not to ask the same question. So what you could also do as a teacher is mark how many questions they get the answer in, and that could be competitive, yeah? You could have teams. It's a really dynamic activity, I think. Introductions, we've kind of already done that, but if they're new, you could say get everyone to introduce themselves and ask questions, or you could say about the weekend. What did you do at the weekend? Ask questions, things like that. Random question generator. I don't know whether you've used it. You literally just can type in random question generator. If you want to put ESL, you can, and I'll show you that. Don't forget to stay behind if you want to add your phone number into some kind of group, yeah, to talk afterwards. Where are we? Random, right. Oh, hang on. So there's quite a few, as you can see. And I just go, if I like it, I'll stick on it. If I don't, I'll go to another one. I think that's the one I don't like. And I didn't like that one because it didn't work. This one, I think. Okay, right, press start to begin. Really easy, and it's fun as well. What did you do for your last birthday? So you could choose people to ask, or you know, whatever format you want, or you could get everybody to answer. I don't know. What projects are you working on at home or at work right now? Okay, you might want to skip. That's a bit boring. Who is a singer that you like? What is your first job? So that can go on for as long as you want, but I think that's a brilliant conversation starter, yeah? Khaleesi, you've left your number. Thank you. I'll try and get it all before you leave so I don't lose it. Right, what's the next one I was going to share with you? Okay, you could do show and tell, get somebody to do something. If people haven't got hobbies, haven't got interests, you could get them to research a new thing, you know. And charades, that's a Christmas classic. In the UK, every family normally plays that at Christmas when everybody's been drunk a bit too much. So basically, one person has to mime a word, a phrase, a film, a book, or a TV. Now, there are specific instructions you can Google and find out, but if you're not that bothered, you can just act it out. Normally, if you want to play it specifically, you have to do like film, book, you have to do those actions. And people say, oh, film, oh, book, whatever. But if you want to just play it blind and have a go, you can just act it. Yeah? So there's some of the things that you can use. Right, I don't know whether all of you are still here. Eugenio, does everybody leave now, or have we got a closing ceremony or something? Are we finished, or does everybody go somewhere else?
Okay, no, I think, guys, do you have another session now? I think you can finish
yeah, I don't have another one, but I don't know what you guys, if you guys have got to go back to the main group, or I don't know. Does anybody have any questions? I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for your contributions. It was a really good, it was a really nice workshop with everybody contributing, and I hope you got a lot of information from it, not just from me, but everybody else. So for sure. Oh, YouTube, it could be on YouTube. Right. Don't forget to leave your number if you want. Khaleesi's got her YouTube. Maybe she could share. Thank you, Karma. You really loved it. That's really great. I'm pleased. Any questions quickly, because we've got a few minutes. We don't have to go straight away. You might have things to. Oh, is there an attendance sheet? I think Eugenio already found that out. But if you could answer again, that would be great.
Mariana, yes, there is. I shared the link. It's on above, but let me share the link again, okay?
So until you leave, you can take pictures or get all the numbers. Once you leave the group, the workshop, you can't, it deletes. So I will make sure that I stay at the end to get everybody's numbers. But if you want certain information, then you need to just stay and get it before you leave. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, Khaleesi, thank you. Please let me take pictures. Do you want pictures of us or the
yes
or the messages, Mariana? All the slides. I can send you them rather than taking pictures if you want. I'll give it to Eugenio. And how
okay.
would you do that? Or do we need to make a group? I don't know.
I think you just turn on your camera so we can register the moment. Could be.
What do you mean? Share the... Or how about if I share it in the chat? Yeah, that should work, shouldn't it?
Yes, it could be good.
Try that. Remember, okay. I'm technically challenged, so let's try.
Okay, Chris, are you going to take a picture of us?
If you want, yeah. Sure, let me come out of the... hang on, I'm having a mental block. Right. Okay. So let me stop presenting. Did you mean pictures of us, Mariana, as well? Yeah, or not? It's really dark here. Somebody else might want it. If you want a picture, you can come on go on the hang on. Sorry, my brain's tired now. I can't think. I've been talking for 2 hours.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Anybody else? Let's make the screen bigger. Let's get rid of the chat for now. 9 others. How do we get the hot? We'll have to do it in 2 bits, will we?
Okay.
Right. Let me do us first, yeah? And then we'll do the others. Right. Hang on. Okay. Ready, everybody? Right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and another one for good luck. And I'll zoom in. Hang on. Right, and then thank you, everybody. And then the other 9. How do I get to them? Or does somebody else want to do that? There's not. Is it 9 others, or are we the 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know. There's 17. I want the other people. How do we do that? I can't get to them. Somebody help, please. There should be more screens, right, Eugenia?
Yeah.
I can only find the people on my screen. So Edna, you, Carmo, Mariaisa, sorry, I don't know your name. Is and me, right? I want to get everybody else. How do I do that? So we have the other people. Mariana, Maria, Silvana, Rosiani. I don't know. Do you understand?
Yeah.
No.
I think some people are shy to turn on their cameras. Or I think some people have left already.
Okay, because it says there's 8 others than us, but I don't know.
Yeah.
16 people. Okay, sorry guys. All right, vamos. Go to YouTube now.
Yeah.
Oh my day, meal day is so confusing. I'm having a breakdown now.
Okay.
Right, quickly write your numbers then. Oh, the link. We haven't got the link. And I'll stay. What's the link to YouTube? Anybody got that for you guys who are going now? Right, write your number if you want to be in the group. If not, wait for the link to go to YouTube. Do you know that, Eugenia, or not?
What?
The link for you. We've been told to go to YouTube.
No. I really don't know. Is there a group, guys, of the Congress?
Yeah, someone's put the CFAF language. Vamos para YouTube agora.
Okay.
I can contact Ramundo if you want.
O tech.
Yeah, there is a group on WhatsApp, I suppose.
I think the link is there.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
let me check
Yes.
with Raimundo here.
I'm posting the link right
Oh,
now.
hi, Ramundo.
Ô, pessoal, finalmente
But they posted,
eu
okay.
consegui falar aqui que eu não podia falar. Tá aí o link, tá bom? Vamos nos dirigir lá para acompanhar a palestra com a doutora Elisa. Thank you so much for joining Chris and Eugênio. Eugênio, thank you so much. Appreciate very much your
Thank you, Eugênio.
Anyway,
us.
Anytime.
Okay. Chris, thanks so much, man.
Thank you, no problem, and thanks everybody. It was a great workshop. Thank
Aí,
you.
pessoal, o link aí pra gente
we're
seguir.
going to make a group, Ramundo, just a little support group, okay, to talk. So that's what we'll do. Yeah?
Silvana.